Welcome back. Let's get straight to business. Today is a full day, and we want to miss any time, any minute. And right, let's quickly go on to my immediate right here. I have with me Barrister Jide Ologun. He is a member, face, popular, regular face in this program and around. Barrister, you're welcome.
My pleasure, sir.
With me again on my immediate left is Barrister Evans Ofile. And Chief Barrister, I don't get money to take buy car. So Chief Evans Ofile, you're welcome to the program.
Well, thank you.
And my Malam Ishaya Ibrahim, you're welcome. He is the editor, deputy editor, news editor. So we have a whole lot of news concerning this issue with us. He's the news editor of the niche newspapers. I'll just start from the editor quickly. This scandal obviously is not new to you as a newsman.
No, it's not.
Because we've been having, in fact, starting from my own house, fake lawyers, fake journalists, fake doctors, fake engineers. That one even come bad, is very bad, because these fake engineers will say they supervise or design houses and they collapse. And in fact, I guess last week a house collapsed. And I'm sure most good engineer will design and will supervise the building of a house. That will let us hear from you.
Yeah. Joe also add that we have fake pastors.
That's from plenty. Oh, you want to me, but it's all right. I agree.
So fakery has been a very serious issue.
Yes.
And it's even affecting, endangering our health, because you go to the market, you're not sure which is original, which is not. So that's where we stand today. And to now go back to the specific of what you asked about the scandal that we are currently facing. You remember that in 1999, the first speaker in this Fourth Republic, Salisu Buhari,
yes,
in less than a month when he was sworn in, it unraveled that the certificate he paraded, I think 2 certificates, one from ABU, one from Toronto in Canada. They were all fake. And to add to it, his age, he inflated it. You know, in Nigeria, what we do is to reduce. He inflated. He was 29, he said he was 36. Because I think at the time, the law only allows
for 30
at that age. So, but typical of Nigerian public office holders, they won't resign. Unlike what we see in Western societies, where, for instance, like Angela Reyna, it was an error in computation of tax.
Property.
Yeah. Boris Johnson attended a party during the lockdown. And it was found out that, look, others were locked in.
You are partying.
And he resigned. But in Nigeria, they will not. Because this idea
is their father's office.
This idea of a strong man, that when we resign, we have shown weakness. So Salisu Buhari actually went to court against the news, was filing a suit of 500 million in damages. But it ended up that he was one convicted for perjury. Curiously, 2013, Jonathan appointed him a governing council member of the University of Nigeria, Nsukka, which was a bad example to show that somebody who faked certificates,
who ought to be blacklisted from all public office.
Yes, and then he ended up becoming like a model. So that's where we stand as we speak, that our society does not see forgery as a very serious shame, that people who indulge in these things have done something extremely despicable. And the person affected, Naj, do not forget that he contested to be governor of Enugu State. If he had won, all of these things would not have, even if they appeared, they would be suppressed. Meanwhile, how did he scale the screening? The
DSS.
But don't be surprised that the DSS may have flagged that certificate.
Okay.
Because they will have bounced it off with some other person. Don't be surprised.
And it will be
what happened to Magu? You remember that the DSS flagged Magu.
Yes.
Yeah, they deflagged it. And the Senate said, okay, we're not going to confirm him, but the presidency kept him
in acting capacity.
So there's a possibility that the DSS flagged it.
Okay.
For those who say, look, we're in Nigeria, we're the powers here, We determine
What goes?
We determine whose certificate is genuine, whose certificate is fake. We say, oh, your own is genuine, as far as we have determined so. So that is where we are. No accountability, and that's why things like this go.
I don't like this story, this picture that the journalist has painted, Barrister. Can we look at it from the point of law, particularly the issue of perjury? Yeah. But you can add another thing, but as a lawyer, I want you to look. He has brought out the angle of perjury to it too. In some cases, there is an element of perjury. When they go to court to swear, particularly all those who have to do with elections, they have to swear to an affidavit about their certificate and all.
Yes. Let me backtrack a bit before I go to the law.
Okay.
From where he left it off, talking about the DSS screening. DSS screen for security, not for certificate documentation or qualification.
Okay.
The screen find out whether the person under reference have any links with national security, whether negative or positive or whatever it is. It is the employer that should write to the school to confirm the certificate of the minister himself. Yes. So the body responsible for that and the presidency, they are the ones that did not oversight that function proper. Okay. Okay. Then back to the issue of perjury, that from the standpoint of law. When Premium Times wrote to the school did not say the man forged results. The school said he attended the university. He gained admission into university. However, we are unable to confirm the certificate he tendered. It was not issued by the school, which invariably will mean that perhaps he got admission into the university and did not finish, because the records are there that he was in the university at some point. But the result he tendered, the school has said it's not from us. That does not imply forgery until a court of law have looked at the issues, or the suspects makes a confessional statement to that effect. He has not done that. We need to be careful. That's what I'm saying. It may turn out to be a forged certificate, but as we speak now, where we are now, the school that issued it just said it's not from us. The school didn't say it's forged. It's not from us. Okay. Then the place where we look at this issue from the standpoint of forgery, that forgery will only suffice when a court of law has looked at the issue and has pronounced him guilty as charged and convict him on the basis of which imprisonment ranges from 3 to 4 years. Okay. So it is on the basis of that we can now say, okay, this is forgery, this is perjury, because he took an oath to say that, all that. So when you lie under oath, it is an offense. Okay. When you forge a document, it is an offense. And forgery will mean you trying to, deceptively make the organization that has employed you, or that has employed you, and the public to believe in the existence of the certificate that you present, whereas same is false. So it's on one way, because I've not even, the police, I don't know what they're doing. I don't think any investigation has taken.
If it's Barrister Evans Philip, you can be sure that they have gone after you. Big men, that's what my brother was saying now. Big men, they will not deal with big men. It's only with small boys that they will deal with. But let me just go further. I like you. You are a lawyer, so definitely you can do devil's advocate very well. I just want us to look at it. UNN said it is not from us. Yes. He has something that says UNN give me. Yes. So how do we reconcile those two statements?
Yeah, we can reconcile it on the ground that it does not lie in the mouth of the public or any institution in the country except from the court to say a document is forged or not forged. Okay. Because you can only make allegations. Okay. And prefer charges against the charges, the allegations. They are all on the realm of speculations until
the lawyer is talking. So you understand the lawyer, and the law is that you are innocent until you are proven guilty. Abi? Very well. So that's just why they are in criminal law, and of course that's what the law is all about. And there is nothing anyone can do about that until the police now move this matter beyond this level of beer parlor talk. That's what I say, to the courtroom, and the court now convicts him and finds him guilty. But for now, it's speculative. That's what it is. But of course, in the public, that's why in the other crimes, we have the jury system. The jury system is that there will be a judge, and the parts of the public who will come, and everybody will now present their case. They will now asking questions, present their issues, views, and so on, and they will come to a conclusion. If guilty or not guilty, they will come to a verdict. Anyway, that will be for another issue. Let me run to another barrister by my right here, Barrister Ologun. Your own view concerning all this parade. And maybe you can take it up from where my barrister on the left said.
Absolutely.
Yes.
He has presented a very brilliant approach for the law,
yes,
stricto sensu.
Yes.
I want to pick it from the Constitution, which is the grand norm. Section 15, subsection 5 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended says the state shall abolish corrupt practices and abuse of office. And I think that calls for righteousness. And the word of God says righteousness exalts a nation, for sin is a reproach. I totally agree. I mean, if you look at section 36 of our Constitution, you have that presumption of innocence. So right now, you cannot say he has forged a document.
Okay.
But talking from the public relations angle now, he has resigned. You know, the word of God says, the righteous shall be as bold as a lion.
Yes.
So if I have not done the wrong thing, I will fight all through.
Yes.
But the battle became so hot for him when he himself organized a press conference and absconded. Perhaps because he saw the questions coming his way. Barrister Ofeli brilliantly mentioned the case of investigation. By God's grace, I'm a private investigator. So there were some questions lined up for him that he was not just going to escape. And he thought it fit
Why?
to resign.
Smart.
Again, considering the environment we are in Nigeria, where we do not take our laws seriously. And I will explain that. So he opted for that soft landing. Okay, let me forfeit this office. Because in the criminal justice ecosystem, there are three important pillars. Thorough investigation, which I believe has been done, and I must commend journalists here. Then you talk of diligent prosecution before a committed judiciary. And we have a precedent in the international community. Yes. Look at the case of Ekweremadus. Before they were picked up, there was a concluded investigation. So the UK was not searching around for investigation to prosecute. And the prosecution was swift before a committed judiciary ready to defend the rule of law. Because I recall in the process of that prosecution, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo wrote to the UK. ECOWAS also tried to intervene on moral ground, and UK said no, we have zero tolerance for organ harvesting and modern slavery. And that's a community where you implement your laws. You know, Amala made reference to the case of Boris Johnson. Something as simple as attending a party during COVID-19. The people said no. In fact, it became so bad.
Cannot be seen doing that.
Exactly. That some parliamentarians were resigning. And that forced him out. Look at the most recent one. The deputy prime minister resigned for not paying sufficient stamp duties on the property,
which was a mistake.
So I mean, you can imagine.
Innocent mistake.
But here, and we are waiting, like Barrister Evans expressed his hope that there will be a prosecution in this matter. But was there a prosecution in the case of Magu, who was taken out of office and eventually even got promoted? Look at the case of Betta Edu, who allegedly, squandered over 550 million naira meant for poverty alleviation, humanitarian money. She was merely suspended. and is out of office. No prosecution, nothing. And what does this portend for the society? There is what we call reinforcement theory in industrial psychology. So younger ones are watching and concluding that you can choose to commit crime in Nigeria as long as you are highly influential.
Yes, that's my problem.
You are honorable.
That's my problem.
So that the law cannot get to you. And it's a very bad precedent.
That's my problem.
If there are no consequences, look at Hadi Sirika, even though the prosecution is going on. But no big deal. Look at the case of former governor of Ekiti State, Ayodele Fayose, who drove himself to EFCC.
The case has
He dropped some money. Prosecution started. At a point, he has been discharged and acquitted for lack of diligent prosecution.
Madam, sorry.
These are issues.
Sorry, you have touched a very sore point in our country's history, or sore wound. Madam, you, the journalist, news come to you regularly. All these things that are in the secret, you hear them. Some you blow. Some they will tell you, oh boy, under the urges of, I won't mention, I don't want to embarrass you, but you know what I mean. Under the platform of, they wrap something up and throw it at you or give it at you, and the news is suppressed. And of course, you have a constitutional duty by virtue of Section 23. That is a duty. 22, sorry. That is a duty imposed on you. I don't know how it is, but this is a responsibility that is with you and God and conscience to save humanity. And that's why forever I will continue to appreciate Dora Akunyili. At the risk of her life, she ensured that drug barons were fought to a standstill. I went to her village house somewhere in some kilometers or 15 kilometers from Oka, Agulu, I guess it's Agulu, her village, to see her when she was sick. Anyway, by the way, my issue is, you newsmen with news at your disposal, why is it that it's difficult to expose all these inanities so that nobody, the law is no respecter of persons? Why is our newsmen respecting people?
No, but in this particular case that you mentioned, it was not Premium Times that first ran the story.
Yes.
It was actually People's Gazette.
Yes, I know. This one is John of the unfortunate one that came up. That's where I'm going.
So NYSC disowned
him again. His discharge certificate
since last year. So the media had already done the job. Police or the presidents ought to have taken it up from
police, please. Oh yeah, go on. We are going to call them out.
Failure of these institutions. Premium Times now took it upon themselves because the People's Gazette story was more focused on the NYSC
youth corps.
They didn't have the facts about the university. So Premium Times now did a more detailed investigation on the certificate that he was parading. And the school disowned that certificate too. Clearly, they said they didn't keep from them. So because if they should issue them a certificate, the evidence will be there in their record that they issued him, so it will be easy to verify. So once they disowned that certificate, it was up for him. And like Barrister Onogu said, that he avoided the whole press conference he called because they were asking, how come your certificate, the person who signed it, the NYSC, the person who signed it, had not been appointed at that time? It was not the NYSC DG at the time. What happened? Was the spirit the one that signed it on? So you see, meanwhile, because in the case of let's just take it back again. In the case of Kemi Adeosun.
Yes, I wanted to mention it.
Kemi Adeosun.
Same NYSC.
Her own was an innocent error, I assume, because at the time the certificate was procured for her, or at the time she graduated at the age of 22. She had not activated her Nigerian citizenship. She only activated it, I think, when she was about 34. That is when they pushed her from UK to become a commissioner
in Ogun State.
But the problem is that the people who gave her the confidence that, look,
don't worry,
arrange
all these things.
are not being held accountable because somebody went to bring this thing
She's the
down.
beneficiary.
She's the beneficiary.
That's
Oh,
the law.
there's a curacy.
Exactly.
She's the face.
But she also gave she gave us an idea.
Yeah.
People helped her
Yes.
to arrange this
Yes.
thing, and they said that look,
No problem.
and she didn't know the system.
Mm.
She had been a British citizen all along. She only activated her citizenship of Nigeria a few months before they
The
gave
whole
her that certificate. So how will she know? How will she know? I don't know the system in the UK.
In law, ignorance
It's
is
not
no
excuse.
excuse.
But again, the ring behind that conspiracy was left unattended because she may have kept us close, or some people she asked for people to do what they didn't want, and so they decided to punish her for that.
Cabal.
Maybe what we'll do is that we'll just go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll do it on our homeward bound. The question I want to ask, it will eat up into our time. So when we come back, don't go away. We'll soon be back. We are all charged and we are ready to go, but unfortunately, the homeward bound. This issue is still stressing us. We've been discussing it off air. The police. We're trying to say we're going to bring the police because generally the law is not activated because in most cases the police go to sleep, and there's the allegation that the police always goes after the small boys or the small girls or the unknown persons. Now when it's the big man or the big girls or so on, they just overlook it. And of course, sometimes they will say order from above. Once there's an order from above, steps are not taken. But in other climes, in other countries of this world, what happens? Nobody is above the law. So my colleagues tell us examples of what happened in America, what happened in Europe and England and so on. When anybody oversteps his bound, is dealt with as an ordinary person. That toga, that garb, that gown that gives him special immunity or whatever is removed, and he now faces the law simply. But here, if it's a small person, by now the guy will be cooling his heels inside one jailhouse or one police cell. But because he's a big man, he's walking free. This is not a good example that should be bequeathed to our children. Never, and I don't think it should be. Barrister Ophili,
Yes.
should we continue this path?
No, it's a wrong path. We cannot continue this way. First, anyone who indicates interest to occupy public office must, like Caesar's wife, leave our board. You should not be seen with blemishes here and there because, I mean, you have, first of all, the fact that you cannot even gain admission into a school and graduate, that you are indisciplined. It speaks a lot.
Yes.
And then you turn out to put something forth that negates truly who you are. It shows that you cannot lead. And little wonder the country is the way it is today. You know, even the president of the country, similar issue, you understand, which is lingering and all that. But what I see about our chance is that because this man was also a participant or an aspirant at the state gubernatorial election of his state, Enugu State. Our politicians are very pompous. If you look at the constitution did not say you must even go to school to be a president or to be anything in Nigeria. What the constitution says is that you have to prove you can read and write, and then show evidence that you have attempted SLE. You don't need to pass it. You understand? What our politicians do, they will jettison all that and have a forging certificate all over the place to prove that they've gone through what they didn't go through, that they are what they are not. And by the time they put all that forth, when it comes to the time to defend it, they will not be able to defend it. Okay? I know that these persons who got this NOI certificate and who got all these documents must have gotten it through INEC. What is submitted when or whichever way. You understand? And at the end of the day, there are documents. How can you have two certificates? The first degree and the NYSC, and the two of them are not
they are not standing well as
not at variance with. So what it means is that you really are not doing your job the way you should do it. Because if I want to contest for the president today now, I have my degrees from first degree to PhD. But I can choose to put my wife, because the constitution doesn't say I must wife. That wife self is too much degree.
Just SSC attempt.
Or just to attempt, or it's equivalent. That equivalent is even telling you don't need anything again to just be whatever you can be
And to
in which high office. So, but why do they always want to prove they had gone to? You hardly find a politician in Nigeria that ever completed school. They are always not having results. They are always not having results. And if you check, even the ones that have succeeded, that have gone through the if you go and check proper, you find out that 1 or 2 results is not enough. They don't have results every time. So this thing is, I mean, the people who are truly qualified and clean to lead, they will not get it, even when they are qualified, because the system is screwed in a way that
it's screwed against them.
Yes, it is rigged against people who are clean. It is those who have capacity to do all kinds of evil. They are the one that the system even compensates. You understand? I mean, my colleague here was talking about Salisu Buhari, how he was compensated during with the Jonathan regime,
council seat,
having been convicted, previously on the same issue, and then the system compensates those who work against the law. And those who are law-abiding, they are the ones that the system punish. So when you have that kind of system, what else can you do? I mean, we need to be this place all the time. Okay, look at it now. If it was in some kind of society, the moment they resign, the police will kick into investigation.
Yes.
And I mean, and who says until there's a petition before the police can act? That's not true. The police can so much to undertake. The law says once there's reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed or is likely to be committed, the police already have jurisdiction. So all the police, this one, this one. I mean, if you look at it, it falls within the ambit of what the law says. Reasonable suspicion.
Yes.
And that reasonable suspicion, you can act on it. So the police don't need to wait for any petition from any institution, premium times, or any.
Don't mind the police. If somebody, sorry, my brother, you see someone in the street with a gun, or you see him with a knife threatening people, you say you want someone to write a petition or to do a complaint before you arrest the person.
That's not the way to go. The police already have unfettered access and authority to.
So we want the police to swing into action concerning this issue. It is a national shame, and we want it to start like David did to Goliath. Let it start from the top. If you start dealing with such this issue from the top, then it will send signal to those who are small ones that indeed they should mind their business, live a good life, and of course don't try and forge. Because one of the things to me, it will be not only certificate theft or scandal, it is even identity theft. Because once you come out and say you have a degree you don't own, that is an identity theft, because to put you in a position which you are not in. Meanwhile, before we continue, the text messages, the number to send your text messages will be on the screen. So all you need to do is just to send your text message. We'll read them out, and please put your location and where you are calling from. Malam, the lawyer here was telling us about the inanities, about the big man syndrome with the police. You, I'm sure, along the line, equally as a journalist, you add this. Is that the way to go too?
Yeah. So it is not the way to go. And now there's something that dramatic happened this week. You know, the minister resigned this week, and he contested
APC governor,
APC
candidate
in the last election.
In Enugu.
Meanwhile, this investigation has been ongoing. I mean, the fact that his NYSC was questionable was already in the public domain. Nobody acted upon it until
Premium Times came.
The Premium Times investigation was triggered by, they said, a whistleblower. Now, the same week, is it a coincidence that the entire structure of the PDP in Enugu State
about to
defect to APC, when the key figure in the APC has now finally
involved in his home.
So it appears that it's not because we want to do society any good. This investigation was eventually brought to this point. So it is because somebody has to be pulled out.
Society is an afterthought.
Yes, it's just a secondary benefit.
So this is personal
of this. But the problem we should be asking is, why is it difficult for our people who hold public office to resign when it is obvious that the ground they're standing is no longer strong? Why? I think the problem is because they know that we have weak institutions. They know for a fact that they can rig that system. And they know that the more money you steal, the easier it is for you to get around it. I think so. These are some of the things that we should be really worried about. It should be that a simple petition to the police should have resolved all of these things. It does not require an enormous investigation for 2 years to figure out whether somebody's certificate was fake. Do not forget that the same institution, UNN, had told People's Gazette that the certificate the minister had, they issued to him. Later, the same person who made that claim now made a vote face when the whole thing has completely unraveled. So these are some of the things that we should be worried about.
Okay. Barrister Logo, I'm still confused. I don't know, maybe you can help us out. I'm confused. Why will it take, why will people just want to claim what they are not? Because they are sure the institutions will not go after them? Because to me, and the main question I'll ask, and I hope I'll have the time to ask the three of you, is that, is there no way you come to me, you want to work, then I have a back end way of checking out? Should there not be back-end institutions that will be saddled with this particularly, in the wake of all this? Maybe an institution, if the DSS has failed, they say it's not that they are for security. If the police have failed, they will say no, they are to keep the law. If the intelligence people have failed, they will say no, they want to monitor national intelligence. Then who is it that must be? We should have an office or people or a group of personnel or institution that must be responsible for this. It's only in Nigeria that we have people who graduate from Nigeria. Why is it that this is a recurrent issue in this country? It's stressful to me.
Thank you. I'll start by saying don't be stressed. Calm down.
I should calm down.
Yeah. You see, in human resource management, there is what you call background check, which must be done. You are bringing someone into your institution and you've been presented with documents. You have the responsibility, and Barrister Philip mentioned it, to check.
Yes.
I attended St. Andrews Primary School, St. Patrick's College, all in Okakoko, in those, the capital of the world. Federal School of Arts and Science, Uniben Law School. So, you are to check. Interesting, and that's one thing about these foreign countries we must learn. I was crossing to Canada from the US with my wife on vacation, and we got to the border. And they went on their turn and said, "You are a lawyer?" I said, "Yes." The next question is, "Your wife a lawyer?" And my answer should be no, because she's not a lawyer. Yes. If I said yes to impress, they may just bounce you back from there. So, to what extent do we respect our institutions? This man in question was the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology. Imagine.
Agbara, powerful office.
Imagine. And for the question, why is it difficult for them to resign? Let me ask a question. Why will a human being in a country where minimum wage is 70,000 naira and who is fortunate to be earning 21 million naira per month resign? Barrister Philip, where you want to resign go?
In a country, let me add that, in a country where we are no longer battling with the cost of living, we are battling with the cost of existence.
Exactly. So where is he resigning to?
So where is he going
with all the influence, all the SUVs, Did you sit down to calculate the value of the SUVs given to the National Assembly member? It will make, these are issues. So it's a high yield environment. You know what it means to be a minister? Or when the former chairman of a political party said, all you need to do is come to our party and your sins are forgiven. These are issues. So we have exalted politics above good governance. And when we talk of UK, America, Canada, to them, it's about governance, service, doing what is right. And that is why it's difficult for Donald Trump in the US now with all his policies to fly. Because California will tell him no. In fact, recently they've been telling him, okay, all this, your immigrants battles, your officers should not mask when they are carrying out. Let's see their faces. So you see the institutions, whether you are talking of the legislative arm or executive or judiciary, engaging this president. That no, whatever you are doing, do it within the confines of the rule of law.
I wanted to use the National Guard recently in a way that is not meant for.
Exactly.
And the country said, no, you can't do that.
I feel for Honorable Dele Alke. The man got to office and I think he was thinking aloud, and journalists caught it, that powerful people are behind illegal mining. Who are the powerful people? Barrister. I have been reading illegal refinery shut down, some suspects arrested. Who are the sponsors? Who are they? Are they from Pluto or Saturn, or are they, you know what I mean? So you have an environment where there are some cabal that are above the law. You don't mention it. And when you have a system like this, DSS is not spared, police is not spared. Those are just minor institutions within the framework of cabalism. And that is why, when this Better I Do matter came up and she was suspended, EFCC invited her and grilled her. After the grilling, what happens?
There are
recently,
powers that will tell you not to move
recently, the former governor of Sokoto State, what's his name again? Who was in the house of Tambuwal, was invited by EFCC and he was grilled. After the grilling, what happens? And it's a wrong signal. And that is why we don't know how many of them are still left with fake certificates and things like that. But, at the time, the former INEC chairman was so frustrated, he refers to a particular political institution that is filled up with criminals. But again, when we don't investigate, when we don't prosecute, and when we even have a judiciary that is battling to sustain the image of credibility within the confines of our macro governance system in Nigeria, it's a difficult thing. And that's why, like I said earlier, some people will be bold that what's the big deal? After all, is it not suspension? Is it not what? Like you have revealed here now, it has not been formally done. But I've read that that state may be migrating, defecting. And already in the Senate, we have 73 senators now in APC, which is already simple majority for APC out of 109. So where are the opposition?
It's okay. We'll go there. We'll go there looking at the opposition very soon. Barrister Ofoli, on your parting shot, we want to look at, is it possible we have an institution that will help us clear this mess of certificate scandal in this country, that people will be afraid of that, they will take me to that place, or my name will go there for check. So that people will sit up.
We already have that institution. All we need to do is to empower that institution more. You see the names, the institution responsible for issuing NIN is supposed to manage the citizens and their credentials
and their information.
Yes, that's why when you go there, they'll ask you to go and bring either your primary school result, WAEC result, or anything that will show your full name. What we need to do is to, up their game such that it's like in the US, you have social security number. When they take your social security number, from there they can track the school you attended, the certificates you have, your qualification, where you were born, and what you have done since you were born to date. That's why they don't bother themselves asking you to write long statements. Here, the police will ask you to write statements. over there before they arrest you, they already have your statement. They know when you were born. You know, they know how many times you have. They call it record.
You are taking it too far. I know you know what I want to say with Barrister Ologun. Sorry. As soon as you get into any airport, they pick your passport, you put your fingerprint, they look at your passport, vis-a-vis the finger, of course the two will bounce out.
Yes.
That's all. How many days do you want to spend here is what they will ask you. I don't know about you.
That's the next thing, yes.
And that's all.
That's why they asked me. I didn't introduce myself as a lawyer.
They didn't check. They just say how many days do you want to have to spend. I told them, and that's all. They just stamp it down. And unfortunately, if they don't press something, the bar will not open for you.
Yes.
Chicken.
So they already have you. So let that institution, names, create that record. Then when they have that record, the immigration can overlap because they can sync it.
Yes.
That's what they do in the US. They sync it. So because it's not the immigration that take all these documents. You have an institution that
they call it the Homeland Security also.
Yeah, you have even your driver's license. When you want to obtain a driver's license in the US, you go through the process. Everything you're doing is linked to immigration.
So the room of faking, stealing identity.
There's no room for that.
Malam, you're cutting short.
So this whole scandal is also an indictment of the president. Because imagine, of all the scientists, the experts, the professors in different fields, science and innovations that we have, the presidency couldn't find anybody to appoint as a minister that would start ministry, but somebody with a questionable
background.
So that's a real.
What can you innovate in that way?
Okay.